So Nancy doesn't fancy what Anthony Weiner did, but she is not calling for him to get out.
Do you stay in the race?
That's up to the people of New York. Yes.
Next week it looks like the House is going to take up this.
Let me just say before I leave that, let me be very clear. The conduct of some of these people that we're talking about here is reprehensible. It is so disrespectful of women. And what's really stunning about it is they don't even realize it. You know, they don't have a clue.
Does that go far enough? Kirsten Power says, yes, it goes far enough. But Jedediah Bila clearly disagrees. Kirsten, to you first. Nancy Pelosi is one of the most powerful women in politics, former speaker, but she was always talking about the war on women, but she doesn't think, she's not prepared to tell Anthony Weiner to get out of the race. Really?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's not a congressional race. I think if it was a congressional race, that would be one thing. But he's not a member of Congress anymore. He's running for mayor of New York. She's not from New York. So the people who have actually, like Jerry Nadler has called for him to drop out, but Jerry Nadler's from New York City, so that makes sense. So I just don't think it's necessarily Nancy Pelosi's place. I can assure you she's not a fan of his, and I'm sure she probably would be happy for him to drop out, but it's just not her area.
For you, Kirsten, can I just quote Gerald Nadler? Now, he is a member of Congress, and he's a Democrat. He's from New York, and here's what he's got to say. I think he should withdraw. I think he needs serious psychiatric help. That's not... He's right in there saying, get out of this race, Kirsten.
But he's from
Ms. Pelosi won't.
But he's from New York City. I mean, so that would make sense.
Is that the subtle distinction that really matters here?
I don't see why Nancy Pelosi is supposed to weigh in on mayoral races around the country.
Because she's been weighing in on the war on women for years and years and years.
But this isn't a war on women. I mean, first of all, I mean, he's had an affair, and she cheated on his wife, and he did think. I mean, how is that a war on women? I don't know why this is Nancy Pelosi's responsibility.
He also lied repeatedly to the American people, and it would be great if Nancy Pelosi, a self-proclaimed feminist, someone who says that she's out there fighting for the rights of women, an advocate for women, would come out and say, this is not what the Democrat Party stands for. This is not what we're about. These are not the kinds of candidates that we want to prop up. If we're going to talk about a Republican war on women, which doesn't exist, we need to have some credibility on the issue and come out and say, Anthony Weiner has lied to his wife. He has lied to the American people. He has a complete panel of deceit we've seen unfold. It's not acceptable. And she is one of the most powerful women on Capitol Hill. What a great statement that would make for her to come out and say, I'm standing up for women, and here's how.
What women is she standing up for? I don't even understand. Like, it's not.
She's standing up for.
He hasn't done. I mean, this is between him and his wife. The lying part is, you're right, the problem, but that doesn't have anything to do with women. He's lying to everybody.
Well, she's standing up.
And I don't think that Nancy Pelosi needs to insert herself in this. Besides that, he's imploding. You know, I don't know. Look, let's remember that Nancy Pelosi drove him out of Congress. Let's just be fair.
Didn't Ms. Pelosi say she was going to clean the swamp? She wasn't just referring to Congress. She was referring to American politics.
She has no control over New York City.
She can pass judgment.
She also injects herself repeatedly. I mean, how many times during the Romney campaign did we have to hear about how Mitt Romney was anti-woman? This is a woman who is known for injecting herself all the time. All of a sudden now, when it's a political ally, when it's a Democrat ally, she doesn't have time to inject herself.
Time's up, everybody. Jedediah, Kirsten, many thanks indeed. I appreciate it.
She pushed him out of Congress. I mean, that's just completely false.
We will be back. We've got a lot further to go.